Representing the Garciaparra baseball group, Mike Garciaparra, the head coach of this squad, and certainly the man behind a lot of the growth of baseball at the travel ball level in Southern California. Obviously, you knew it. You grew up out there. A generation back, knew it. I played out there. It's an amazing baseball hotbed. That's the obvious part. The new part is the growth of travel baseball, the way teams are working together more than they ever have, and how perfect games become involved too.
Yeah, you know, growing up, you know, some of the teams, there was only so many teams. There's maybe 8 teams that everybody knew about in the whole state, a couple NorCal teams, and they were all just elite teams. Now there's so many more teams, so many events, so many opportunities. Some people don't even know what to do. You know, now obviously we've kind of figured out, we go to a lot of the perfect game events, or some, you know, the best tournaments on the whole West Coast. That's why we attend them. And, you know, we tell our kids, and we educate our parents, like, hey, to take pride in it, and most college scouts come to these events. This is where you need to spend your time, money, and effort, and you're going to compete against the best, and that's how you get better. You know, you don't get better just go winning these little tournaments here and there locally. That's great for the trophy, but ultimate goal is to get college or into pro ball. Let's go play against those same type of teams, and that's what we've been finding going to some of the events now that Perfect Game's coming out west.
Have you found, too, the clubs that obviously remain rival clubs, and they work hard to get the best players, and they want to win championships, but have you found them on the competition level working more together, scheduling more games together because of these tournaments, rather than they did in the past? You guys find yourself now playing the best teams in California, whereas that almost didn't happen in the past.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we've tried to even schedule some of the best teams, and it's just so hard sometimes with the college visit schedules and everything else to really schedule some of the best games against the best teams. I'd love to do that with some of the West Coast teams. It doesn't always happen, but every once in a while it does. And I think when that happens, I mean, we even draw college coaches at those games too. And, you know, with the older boys, you get the pro scouts to come out and see them. You know, so it's a hotbed for baseball. The population's huge over there, obviously. The weather's great. You can play it, you know, 365 days. You know, so I think that's a reason why so many players are coming out of there.
Explain the character of the Garciaparra baseball group. Some of the things you guys hope to accomplish across the board.
I mean, you know, we just want to be different. I tell everybody, hey, we're not saying we're better than anybody ever, but I said I want to be different, but I want to be different for the right reasons. We want to play the game the right way, play it hard at all times, respect your teammates, pull for each other, play team baseball, because that's what my father brought us up doing. You know, when we started 2.5 years ago, we're only 2.5 years old. You know, we didn't have guys throwing 85 plus to 95 plus. We didn't have any of those guys. We had guys that threw strikes, played hard. Everybody cared about each other, and it was the team atmosphere that we preach. You know, that I got from my father, and all the kids kind of bought in. You know, my father, I tell everybody, you don't have to. You can listen to me because I'm the coach, but you don't listen to Hefe. We call him. My dad, he had 2 first rounders, and it wasn't an accident. He made us what we are, and we give him all the credit. But he just taught us to respect the game and play the game right, and that's what he said: respect the game, play the game right, honor the game, and everything will take care of itself.
4 decades of influence, Ramon Garciaparra, as a coach, as a teacher, and I love how on your website you dub him with quotes, the assistant, because in so many ways he's more of the godfather, the leader, I would imagine the mentor, still to you, still to your brother, and to these players.
Yeah, absolutely, and he definitely is. I mean, we have Scott Smith, Chris Smith with the WM9 program out of North Carolina, and South Carolina, excuse me, and then you know, Dominic Smith, you know, is back here coaching with us again. He just likes being around it. I think him being on the coaching side is helping him kind of learn a little bit about the game on a different level, and then when he goes back in his minor league career to hopefully get to the big leagues, trying to help him out with that. But you know, everybody does have the utmost respect for him, and I think, you know, he kind of just exudes that calmness and confidence, and tries, and I think it just shows in the players.
Explain the experience and how you think Perfect Game did, and obviously you guys were a big part of helping to build it with them, of the California World Series this year, very recently.
I mean, it was awesome. You know, we don't normally get to do that. I mean, normally we have to drive all the way to Arizona. Sometimes that makes it tough to get players and missing school and stuff like that. But California World Series was a great event. You know, they got the best teams in California to come out there and duke it out, and it was great. So once again, like I said, it drew college scouts, it drew pro scouts, and that's what this is kind of all for. You know, winning titles and everything, that's great, but ultimately, you know, when I get a guy that gets committed to college, or we get kids drafted, that's what really makes me feel good. You know, those trophies are great too, because you want to do that, but we want to teach winners. We want to teach winning. California World Series, another one. Hey, you want to beat each other. That's California. It's a pride thing for the state, NorCal, SoCal, and everybody wants to do that. But you know, when you can teach and preach winning, not at all costs to throw guys' arms out, but that's what college coaches want. They want winners, and pro scouts want. We want winners to help us win games, because that's the nature of the beast. You know, in the California World Series, brought everybody together saying, hey, we want to beat each other. We want to win, and I love that. That's a competitive edge that I think you need to get that experience, so when you get to the next level, you've already been there.
Final question for you. You played very successfully 3 sports in high school: baseball, football, and soccer. A well-recruited athlete in those sports as well. So what advice do you have to our sports parents that are taking a look at this in sports diversification? Because it's easy to say, hey man, you got to stay diversified. Things have changed a little bit, but do you think it's important to continue to stay as much athletic all around as you can?
Yeah, I believe so. You know, for me, I mean, there's certain sports where people give me that question all the time. Hey, do I only have to play baseball? I said, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, because I actually played 4 sports in high school, and I ran track, and I did a little bit of everything. I think soccer helped me with my footwork. Football helped me. I was a kicker, really, so it helped me with my mental aspect of really focusing in that kind of pressure situation. So it kind of helped me in every aspect for baseball to be on the baseball field in many different ways. So I think staying athletic and maybe taking a break from baseball sometimes is actually a good thing. You know, so I don't tell people this is what you got to do. Only play one sport, only stick with it. Sometimes they say, hey, maybe you don't play football so you don't get hurt if you're not going to get recruited in it. You know, me, I'm more, hey, I kind of got recruited in those other sports. That's probably why I stuck with them, because I was actually a football, soccer recruit too. If you have a baseball, you know, you got a good arm and that's your ticket, hey, you might not want to be a quarterback for your team in case you get hurt, you know. So those are kind of, you know, it's kind of an individual basis, you know, thing. But, you know, I don't mind when people diversify, because like I said, I'm the worst person to say that, or the last person to say you shouldn't do that.
The worst, maybe the best, I would argue.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.